I have this after show that I do. Did you ever watch Inside the Actors Studio?
I don't have TV, so probably not.
Okay, so this was on ages ago. I loved it when I was a teenager. It's basically the dean of the School of Theater at Pace University in New York. Was it Pace University? Yeah, I think so. His name was James Lipton. He did a show on campus where he invited celebrities so that like the aspiring actors and actresses and set crew and all the people who were in the theater school, they could learn from these established and well-known actors and directors and producers and all that. Okay, so he would ask at the end of the show. It was a great show because he would just like interview, and then at the end, before he wrapped it up, he would have a questionnaire called the Pivot Questionnaire, which is actually based on a French show that he borrowed and made his own for Inside the Actors Studio. So I borrowed it and made it pet related.
Okay.
Pet hair.
Okay.
Okay, so the first question is, what is your favorite breed?
Oh, that's easy. Labrador Retriever, black.
Do you black?
Black.
And Wiley was a black lab too?
Yep.
You know what's funny? I just, for some reason in my mind, Wiley was a yellow lab.
Oh, that's so funny.
I don't know why.
No, she was black.
Okay,
and
so
I understand where that comes from, because on the sort of spectrum of Labrador Retrievers, the chocolates are, generally speaking, because there's always exceptions, but the chocolates are always the craziest, then the yellows, and then the labs. So the labs are usually the most stable. The blacks are usually the most stable, but not in my case. But the one I have now is absolutely superb. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So one of the dogs that I love most, that I actually have a picture of, that I use for media a lot, he was a black lab.
Oh, nice.
His name was Kai, and he was not mine.
Oh.
I borrowed him all the time because he was amazing. He was such a cool dog. He was such a smart dog, a good dog, chill dog, beautiful, like a good companion, would go anywhere, would get along with anybody. He was like really great energy, like just like such a cool dog.
Right.
His name was Kai.
Nice. That's Rhubarb.
Oh, that's Rhubarb. Oh, so she looks like Kai. She looks like Kai.
Oh, yeah?
Kai was a little bit on the shorter side. Is she a little bit on the shorter side too?
Yeah, she weighs about 56 pounds.
Yep.
So she's breed standard, and everybody's always like, "Oh, she's so small." It's like, well, she's the way she's supposed to be. These 100-pounders are not breed standard. So yeah, she's.
So
I
was told that there's an English Labrador, and then there's an American Labrador. She's an English Labrador. Okay, so Kai was an English Labrador.
Yeah. Oh. They're shorter, a little bit stockier, like broad-chested. The American field labs are long-legged. Yeah.
So Wiley was an American field dog.
Yeah. Yeah. She was.
So, can I ask what your least favorite breed is?
With dog trainers, it's like you're supposed to love all the dogs. And I love all the individual dogs. So, mostly, because, every once in a while you get one that's like not very nice. So, but if I had to choose a breed for myself, I would not choose drooly dogs. So, no St. Bernards, no Mastiffs. Plus, they're so huge. I don't need to feed that. I don't. Right. And I, for whatever reason, I don't feel the need to have a giant dog. So.
You mean you're not compensating for anything?
No. Although I have to tell you, I love Newfoundlands. I just adore them.
They're popular. I've had some guests who love them. Yes.
Their temperament. And I worked with them quite a bit. And when I worked at the vet hospital, I also had to give them baths and dry them and brush them. Sometimes it was like, that's a whole day right there.
Oh my gosh.
That's a whole day.
Yes.
Yeah. So I know the upkeep it takes, and I can't do it. I can't do it. So none of those. And then I like a dog that wants to be really close to me. I mean, that's why I have a dog. because I like the companionship and I like the cuddly, So, I don't really want a Basenji or, the wild breeds where they're more like a cat,
Right.
So that doesn't appeal to me either. And I'm sorry for all the people who, have those dogs, but, I love that you have them, but not me.
Well, this is the thing about this question. This is the thing about this question. I think it's important to normalize that there are breeds for everybody, and that people really need to actually, while I don't buy dogs and I only rescue dogs and I love a mutt. My Titan is 14 years old. We did his genetic testing. He is super mutt. He has no genetic predisposition to anything because he is so mixed and so mixed and so mixed. He has no bad genes. He is just a huge mutt. He's my soul mutt. But there are dogs that are more for certain people than there are dogs for other people. My best friend only wants a tiny dog. She only wants a dog that fits in her purse. And if she's not going to have that dog, she's not going to have a dog. So it's okay to be I don't want a tiny purse dog. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. And it's no hate on the breed. I love Yorkies. I love her Yorkie, but I don't want one.
Right.
Especially with young children. Can you imagine a Yorkie in this house?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Bad.
It would be stressful times a million. So I just want to normalize the fact that there's a breed for people that is more they connect with, and that there are breeds that you don't connect with, and that's okay.
Yep, absolutely. And it's so personal because it's based on your own childhood experiences and what you're familiar with and the dogs you've met in the past, and there's so much of that goes into it. So
True. Yes, so true. And your geographic location, right, where in the United States labs are it, but in Spain, for example, there might be a different breed that everybody loves.
Yes, absolutely. Yep.
Does Rhubarb sleep in your bed?
Sometimes. Well, let me rephrase that. She sleeps in a crate beside the bed because she's hot. And it's too hot for me. It's too hot, so I can't do it. It's too hot. So she's always been in there. But every morning at around, 5:30, 6 o'clock, we let her out and we bring her up on the bed every morning.
Perfect. So one question, is the crate open? She can come and go as she wants?
No, we close her in there at night. Otherwise, she'd be up on the bed.
Okay. All right. I like that. I like to know these things because if you're a dog trainer, then this gives me options, right?
Yeah. And she, if you do things right, she loves going in there. She can't wait to get in there at night.
Yes.
She's just, because she gets a handful of cookies and then I think she sleeps better too because it's quiet in there and there's nobody pushing or, moving stuff. So I think she gets good rest in there, and then we get to snuggle for a couple hours in the morning. So it's perfect. It's a great compromise.
This is exactly what a lot of parents do with their children, right?
Yes.
My firstborn, he slept better with me. So I bed shared him until I was pregnant with Mila, and then I was because it's hot, get out of here, right?
Too hot.
But my little girl, she's getting to the point where she does not sleep well with me. Every time I move, it wakes her. She's not comfortable. I've had friends who have told me you love bed sharing, but my kid didn't want it. At 6 months, my kid wanted to be in her crib by herself. So everybody's an individual, and it works differently for different. And I think a crate training is one of the most important things that I would ever do with a pet. The day they get home, they go into a crate, we start training, short periods of time, lots of high-level treats, all those things, because it's such a great thing to have them trained for, even if they don't use it on a daily basis. In your case, they do, but some dogs, they see a crate and they're like, oh, cool, I can go in there.
Yeah, exactly. And if my personal belief is you're doing a disservice to your dog if you don't crate train your dog, because they're going to be in a crate sometime. You go to the vet, they're in a crate. And having worked at the vet hospital for 3 years, I can't even tell you how many animals I saw freaking out when you put them in a crate. They break teeth trying to get out of the crate. They rip out claws. You come in the morning and there's blood everywhere. It's a horrible, horrible thing. The combination of separation anxiety and being stuck in a crate is horrible. So working on that stuff early is, even if you don't do it early, you can work on this through the life of the pet. So
absolutely.
I'm a big big.
And if you're the kind of person that wants to travel with your pet, because most Airbnbs
Right.
will say, sure, we're pet friendly, but when you're not there, your dog needs to be crated.
Right,
So keep that in
exactly.
mind for practical reasons too. If you want to include your dog in your travels and your adventures, your dog should be crate trained for sure.
Yeah.
Next
And hotels
question.
are the same. The hotels
Yes.
are the same.
Hotels are absolutely the same, and as they should be, because Socks did a number. She had a UTI. We were in New Orleans in 2015 for Christmas, and we took all 4 dogs, and the hotel was like, we have a maximum of 2 dogs, and we're like, no, but these dogs are amazing. These dogs are like, they're not your typical dog. And the general manager walked the perimeter of the hotel with us. She saw them on leash. She met them. She was like, these dogs are great. And of course, Socks had to make us look bad. Like she was totally like, once we got the okay to stay, we paid like a double pet fee and it was fine. She peed on the bed because she had a UTI and she was like,
Oh,
she was in so much pain. I don't think I think at that point her UTI was so bad, maybe she was incontinent or she just didn't.
Right.
It was so urgent she didn't have the chance to jump off the bed.
Yep.
So yes, so I highly wish that trip we had taken a crate with us for her. We ended up Christmas Day at the emergency vet getting her
Oh gosh.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, of course. Yes.
This is why you crate train. All right, who or what wakes you up in the morning? It sounds like maybe it's a little girl who needs to go potty.
No, she doesn't go out. She would stay in bed for hours. Oh, she does. We have to push her out the door. Come on, let's
Oh my
go.
gosh.
She's like, no.
I remember I had a friend with a dog like that and I never believed him. I was like, come on, my dog.
Oh no, she does not want to get up in the morning. She's been like that since birth.
Oh my God, she's amazing.
Yeah, she's totally not interested. She's I don't have to go. Really, I don't have to go. It's like, you're going.
Especially if it's cold. I bet if there's snow on the ground, she's not going anywhere.
Oh, she doesn't care about the snow.
Yeah.
And we hardly ever have any in North Carolina, but she loves it when it's here. But no, she didn't. No, the person, well, you wake yourself up at around 6 a.m. for your own potty break. And then we take the dog out and put her on the bed. And then we all fall asleep. And then my husband gets up. And let's see, we've been married for 19 years. So for 19 years, he makes coffee and brings me coffee in bed.
Hey, Chris Arata, if you're watching this, take notes.
Yeah. So that's, I get that every day. So that's awesome. So,
I love that.
He has the first shift of taking her out. So he does that coffee and take the dog out. I have that nighttime one.
Your morning ritual sounds fabulous. I'm going to take a note from your...
It's pretty good.
Yeah, I don't think you can complain at all. All right, next question. What's your most used training command or cue at home? Not training clients, but at home.
Wait.
Wait is a good one. I've actually learned about wait through this show.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you can use it in all kinds of situations. Everything. I can't even imagine not having that cue because they, are able to generalize it. So wait just means hang there for a second, whether it's hang there and don't eat the food on the ground, or hang there and wait before you go out in the rain, or whatever it is. It's just a pause, basically.
I love it.
So, yeah, I love that. That's
I'm going to start implementing it with my children.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Wait. And,
yeah, it's just a second. I just need a second.
Yeah, use that technique. I think it's called onomatopoeia, where the sound of the word mimics what you want it to do. So, an example of a word like that is crash, because it sounds like what it is, right? Yes. So I use that with all my cues, but wait, so you sort of stretch it out, because that's what you want the dog to do, right?
Wait.
Yeah.
I love that. That's perfect. What is your least used training command or cue? Something that it's popular, but you don't use it.
I never use stay.
Stay. That's actually a popular one, which is so funny because when I was training Socks and Titan, to stay was one of the things we trained, with the long 20-foot lead. So stay, and I'm going to walk it away from you. And then I'm going to give you a treat when I say come.
Right. No, if people want to learn that, especially if they're competing and stuff, you teach for competition. But weight does the same thing for me, and it's much more casual. Yes. So I don't have to have a sit or a down. And it's just chill there until I release you.
So what? Yeah. So what does relieving from weight look like? Is it a hand gesture? Is it another cue? What does it look like?
It's a million things. It's okay. It could be an okay. It could be let's go. It could be whatever.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's just the next thing.
Whatever you say next. Whatever you say next is the relieve cue. I love that.
Yeah.
So easy. I'm definitely implementing that starting today. In my house for everybody, including my husband. Okay. What pet-related noise do you love?
Oh, she doesn't bark, which is, I know it's a weird thing, but my dogs don't bark. Wiley never barks either. And I asked my friend Abigail, who runs a service dog school and breeding program, I said, how do you think we manage to have these dogs that don't bark? Because her service dog doesn't bark either. And it's like, if only we could bottle that.
I have a little Pomeranian mix that needs whatever you're selling. Yeah.
Well, I think it's the way we raise them, right? So from puppyhood, because I have dogs on that side, and dogs on that side that bark like maniacs, and my dog, we taught her to just look at them as if they're crazy and move along. So, but she makes it when she's playing and she has a toy in her mouth, she makes a whole bunch of growly sounds. Like, oh my gosh, she growls and growls and growls. So she's ducking away. Yeah, she growls a lot. Grrr.
That's the happy growl. Oh, yes. I love the happy growl.
Yeah, she's very vocal when she does it. So yeah, and we encourage it. So
yes, of course, because it's like happiness bottled up. Yeah. What is your least favorite pet-related noise?
I would say kind of like the panicked bark of a dog. Barking's normal for most dogs, so it doesn't bother me. It's really funny. I'll go to a client's house and their dog is like bark, 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 and they'll be like, "I'm sorry, I'm sorry." I was like, "Oh, I don't even hear it." I'm so used to it when you're going to a client's house. That does not bother me at all. But it's when there's either fear or that high pitched, scared bark I find that distressing for me because it's distressing for the dog. So
because you speak dog, so you're getting that warning.
Yeah. It's and it's just you just want to relieve the stress of whatever's causing that. Yeah.
Right. So. And sometimes you can't, which makes it even more stressful.
Yeah.
What pet-related profession, other than your current profession as author and dog trainer, would you like to have, but it has to be pet-related?
Oh boy. Veterinary behaviors, probably.
Oh yeah, the next step up, right? So like,
yeah.
saw
the real deal.
I mean, no, you're the real deal. I'll tell you right now, you're the real deal. But I did see a post, and I'm sure that it was somebody that we both are friends with or follow on social media. I love your social media, by the way. You have great memes, and you make me laugh all the time. But this person, I don't remember who it was, and this person was talking about how there are only like 8 veterinary behaviorists in the world.
Oh no, there's more than that. But there's maybe 80.
I don't remember, but it was like a small number.
It's a very small number, yeah, because they have to be full veterinarians, then they have to do a specialty in behavior and residency, and it's the equivalent of becoming like a cardiologist or a internist. It's the same thing, except it's behavior related. So it's a lot of studying, and the other thing is they have to do all species,
not just canine,
not just dogs and cats. No, they have to do like otters and elephants, and I mean, it's really,
that is amazing.
Yeah,
I need to get one of those 8 or 80 on my show so I can ask about
that. There's 2 that are fantastic.
Oh my gosh.
One is in Richmond, Virginia.
Yeah.
And the other one is down in Alabama near Birmingham.
That's amazing. So does it bother you when people call themselves behaviorists when they're just dogs?
Yes, it bothers me.
Dog trainers?
Crazy.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yes, so my former business partner Beth went to the Victoria Stilwell Academy as well, and she learned she learned there. And this was when we were like running the WAG Pack, and she was doing this like kind of on the side and we were, talking business, and she would be like, oh my gosh, this person calls themselves a behaviorist, but they're not. And I'm like, what does that mean? I don't even know what that means. And she told me the same thing. Like a behaviorist is a veterinarian with a specialty.
PhD.
Or a PhD.
Or a PhD in behavior.
Exactly. So they have like their doctors with a specialty in behavior. Whereas this person who's like worked with animals for 10 years calls themselves a behaviorist, but has zero training. That is not a behaviorist.
No, it's not. And if you find somebody like that that's calling themselves that, then don't go to them, because that's just wrong.
Yeah, because they don't even know that. So like, what else
don't even know that? Right.
What else don't
go there. Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
Or, the people that call themselves master trainers or, all that. It's like, as if there's some kind of a
regulatory body
that you earn or something, like, it's like, oh gosh. It's like, don't go there either.
Absolutely. I hear that. So I do call some of my guests expert trainers because they're experts in whatever it is that we're talking about.
And I think that's different. Yeah.
And I will introduce my certified dog trainers as professional dog trainers, because I won't have just a dog trainer on my show.
Right.
You guys are professional dog trainers, certified dog trainers. This is a very different thing than just deciding one day you like dogs and getting a business card printed.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah.
So, okay.
Just for one more clarification though, I did not go to VSA, Victoria Stilwell Academy. I've been a dog trainer way before that. I'm what's called a VSPDT, which was in existence way before VSA. And that's a Victoria Stilwell Positively dog trainer. And there's only about 80 of us worldwide. And we were all established professional positive reinforcement dog trainers before, and then we applied to become part of the VSPDT group, work with Victoria, and that kind of stuff. So
you are a mentor for some of the graduates.
Yes.
So Beth had a mentor that was not trained by Victoria. She had been in business for years prior. Her name is Peggy, and she's in Northern Virginia, which I'm sure you know her.
Maybe. I don't know. Probably.
She's a Victoria Stilwell mentor. And I don't know if she actually is affiliated with Victoria Stilwell, but I don't know if they had somebody. And then they found her, and she had such great... Sun Dogs is the name of her business.
Okay.
And she had such great, positive reinforcement background, had been in business for 20 years or whatever. So they found her to mentor Beth. And, Beth is an amazing dog trainer. And she now is Karen Pryor certified and all that stuff. So, she's continuing her education. And I know that that's not the only way to become a dog trainer, but they have to have some kind of certification, people.
They do. Yeah. With a recognized body. Yeah. Yeah.
Then there are multiple recognized bodies. So if let's say that I was like, hey Dale, I need a dog trainer, what website would you recommend I go searching on? Like if there was one that you had to narrow down to.
I'd go to the Pet Professional Guild first, right? Because you have to sign the Force Free Pledge. Oh yeah, let's have another sip.
Cheers. We're slurring.
Yeah, to get in there. So you have to sort of already be force free, which is, mostly positive reinforcement training. So you can definitely go there. But, people lie. So, some people might not be, they might sign that and then go do other things. Like, who knows? You have to do your due diligence on, once you think you found somebody. Oh, and the other thing is, even if you find somebody on the PPG Find a Trainer search, you have to look at their qualifications. Like, are they new? Have they been doing this for 5 years, 10 years? Do they have experience in behavior modification, or are they puppy trainers? You have to really look at what you're looking for, right? Everybody's got specialties. Everybody's got expertise in certain areas.
Yeah, I've been working with dogs since 2008, professionally, full time. I've walked thousands upon thousands of individual dogs. And you couldn't pay me to call myself a dog trainer because I don't have any official and, specific training. And I think that it's crazy that people would just say, I'm going to leave the corporate world and become a dog trainer and start training the next day. Like there's so much science behind this and there's so much learning to be done. And it's a journey. Every dog is an individual. So even what you learn in school may not apply. And there's definitely different techniques. right?
Yep, absolutely. It's and you know, it's so funny when you meet a dog trainer that's kind of fresh, you know, and it's dangerous because you don't know what you don't know, right? So
ding, ding, ding.
Always,
I say that a lot on this show. Parents don't know what they don't know.
Yeah, a little bit of cockiness, and it's like, oh, gee, you know, it's like there's so much to know. And the more, I think the more educated you get, the more you know that there's so much you don't know.
Right.
I mean, it's just incredible. And once you start working with and studying people who are like amazing, like Clive Wynne or Dr. Susan Friedman, and you think, oh gosh, I'm like such a little peon, you know, compared to the knowledge that they have, or the neuroscientists now, like Kathy Murphy, Dr. Kathy Murphy, and I'm okay. I'll just listen to you. It's amazing what's going on in the dog world these days. So it's and all of that, of course, affects how we train. You know, I mean, how we put that to use in terms of working with dogs. So it's a field that's pretty exciting right now. That's for sure.
Oh, absolutely, and it's ever evolving, and you know, it's ever a journey.
Yep. Yeah.
And
if you stop learning, then that's not good. Then you should quit.
And I do feel like I'm being drawn in the direction of dog training. I would love to, just for this show and just for like sharing what I love and doing what I love. I would love to have some kind of certification. I haven't decided what organization I want to study under, but like, just, I feel like it would make me a better pet parent. It would make me a better host to the show. It would be so good for me in so many ways. But yeah, it's ever evolving. So what I'll learn in this program will probably be different in 10 years.
Oh gosh, yes. Yeah,
right?
For sure. I mean, even when I think about, you know, my training 10 years ago, it's like, oh gosh. Or now I've been in it so long that I have repeat customers, you know? So I trained their dog like 12 years ago, and then that dog's life is gone, and they got a new puppy, so they call me again, which is like wonderful. But then I go, and they're
so great.
But then they're like, "You didn't teach us that last time." It's like, well, I hope not, because I've been learning in the last 10 years, and if I hadn't,
we don't do that anymore. We do this now.
Exactly. So, it's funny when you see that evolution. Yeah,
absolutely. Cool. That is so cool. I love it. If your dog trainer is evolving, that's a good sign.
Yep.
All right, next one. What pet-related profession would you never want to try?
Does it include ones I've already tried?
Yes, absolutely.
I don't want to be a bather.
Okay. Too hard? It's like physically, I'm sure that's physically very trying.
So hard. It's so hard. Yeah. I mean, grooming's hard, of course, but you know, that's skill, right?
Yeah.
This is you have to have a certain level of skill to be able to handle all kinds of dogs. And cats. Oh my gosh. Bathing a cat. Oh my
I'm dying to get a cat groomer on this show, but you know what? None of them want to be interviewed.
Really?
None of them.
They're like cat people, right? So
exactly. They're like, I'm busy. I'm grooming cats. Like, do I have any more space on my agenda? No, I'm grooming cats. Do you see what I do for a living? When I'm done grooming cats, I don't want to talk to you about grooming cats.
Right.
And I don't blame them. I don't blame them.
No, it's a tough job, you know.
Yes.
I did it in Wisconsin. That's my first dog job.
Really?
No, it was playroom supervisor and bather. So I had those two in Wisconsin because I took Wiley to the daycare, so I figured I might as well work here, right? Get it for free and make some money.
I'm a big believer in getting hobbies that pay money.
Yeah,
I'm a big believer in that.
And then I did it again when I moved here. Of course, I didn't know I didn't know anybody. There was nothing here, so I thought, well, maybe I'll just look and apply to wash some dogs. So get my, self in there somewhere. Again, still before I was a dog trainer. And so I did bathing at two or three places, and it's hard.
How much does a dog bather get paid?
I got paid $8 an hour. It was above minimum wage. But
that is not enough for the wear and tear on your body. Like, you can throw your back out so easily when one of these like big dogs.
Yeah, yeah. I remember there's this one Alaskan Malamute that used to come in once a year, and I'd be like, oh gosh, it's that day. So he'd bring him in, and the dog was, what was the dog's name? Snowflake or something ridiculous, but he was like ginormous. And he'd always bring him in when he was blowing coat, right? So it's like spring. And we wash, well, first you have to brush, right, first. That's the thing people don't know. Brush first, then bathe, then dry, then brush again, then give it to the groomer, right? It's like, oh, gosh. So we'd use the force dryer, that big blow dryer, on this dog, and I am no lie, the entire space was covered in white fluff. I mean, everywhere. The cash register, all this, it was impossible to contain. And we just had to go around after his day, which took us like 3 hours to clean up after him.
How much did this dog pay for his spa day? Not enough, I'm sure.
Not enough. No. We always lost money on that guy, and we always lost money on the Newfoundlands. Yeah, lots of losing money.
Okay, guys, if you have one of these breeds, you need to tip big when you go to the groomers.
Oh, tip big, yeah, because it's really hard. It is really, really hard. And thank goodness most of those dogs are very compliant. Otherwise, it's like, oh, that would be impossible because it's an all-day event. Yeah.
Yes, they're cooperative. That's really important.
It's hard on the dog.
Last question, and I call this part of the show last call because when you've been at a bar long enough and it's last call, last call, and you're ordering your last of many drinks, you usually get a little more introspective and you're willing to share your heart with strangers just a little bit more. So this question is the most introspective, and I think I already know the answer to this question, but I'm going to ask it anyway. If the Rainbow Bridge exists, who is the first pet to greet you when you arrive?
Wiley!
Did Wiley have a middle name?
She was called the Wiley one of Highbridge because, Wiley one. She was Wiley. And Highbridge is where we lived in northern Wisconsin. And we named her after Wiley Coyote on Bugs Bunny. So
that makes. Did you know when you got her that she was going to be Wiley? Like you could just tell?
We named her before we got her.
Oh! So maybe you manifested this very bad dog? This worst dog ever?
Maybe. Maybe. She grew into her name, shall we say.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
So the next time I have a dog, I'm going to name her after a very peaceful figure.
Rhubarb.
I'm going to
benign. Totally benign.
Or
rhubarb.
Like St. Francis or something. Like a saint.
That would be good. Oh my gosh. That would be a dog that slept all day.
Yeah.
That might be too boring.
And that would just pet any kind of small mammal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not my hounds.
No. Oh gosh, hounds. And when you talked about your hound shepherd mix, I'm thinking, wow, there's a combination for you. Wow.
She was incredible.
Yeah, she's
Look
beautiful.
at those eyes.
She looks very, very much like a friend's dog. Her name was Chili, and very, very.
That would have been a good name for Socks. Chili.
Yeah.
We named her Socks because when we got her, Titan and Socks were running in the yard, and the only thing that we could tell would differentiate them were her white paws. So we just called her Socks. But then we were like, the Clintons had a cat named Socks. Why do you name a dog a cat's name? And we were like, but she already responded to Socks, so we kept it.
Yeah.
I wanted to name her Cyndi Lauper because of the gloves. Remember Cyndi Lauper used to wear gloves? But my ex was kind of serious, and he was like, we're not going to name a dog Cyndi Lauper. And I was like, why not? And he was like, because it's a human name.
No. Yeah. Well, people always assume my dogs are male, first of all. That's
Wiley?
Just an assumption.
Oh, yeah. Wiley's totally gender neutral.
That's what I thought. And same with Rhubarb. I mean, Rhubarb, what?
Rhubarb sounds more girly to me than male.
Well, they all think she's a boy. I think it's because she's a black dog.
Yeah, people with black pets just have all these preconceived notions, right? Like that they're aggressive, that they're male, that they're big, that they're this, that they're that. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, it's weird. But yeah, Wiley one of Highbridge. That was her. So yeah, definitely. There's no question in my mind. I mean, if I could, it's really funny because I don't have a lot of religious beliefs. I have none. So let's just fess up. But when it comes to dogs, I think they do go somewhere good, and just because I just like the feeling of thinking that the dogs are all up there having a good time, and Wiley's good and everything's good. So
for sure.
For people and humans, no, but for dogs, yes.
So you see, I was raised Catholic, so I do have like these Catholic beliefs that I was raised with, and it wasn't until Pope Francis said that animals have souls that I was finally like, okay, now I'm really a Catholic. Because you guys have been neglecting the animal population for way too long and saying that they didn't have souls. And I remember being in like elementary school, because I went to Catholic school my whole life, and being like, I don't believe that they don't have souls. Sorry.
Right.
I'm not gonna buy it. I'm not buying
that
it.
That was a big moment. I remember that.
It was.
Very, very well. Yeah.
It was a big moment. And it's still one of the
wow.
reasons that Pope Francis is, progressive, and he is breaking down all sorts of really limiting traditions. And one of those things was saying yes, of course they have souls. They're amazing. Animals are special, and they were given to us, but not to abuse. They were given to us to enhance our lives, enhance our existence, not to be used and abused by us.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
So definitely Rainbow Bridge. I know a lot of people say it's so corny, it's so cheesy. It's I don't care. I like the sound of it, and I like the picture it makes in my head. So I'm good.
For sure. 1,000%. I mean, if there's no Rainbow Bridge,
what's the point?
Yeah, what's the point of anything? See, I told you we were going to get introspective in last call. I told you.
You're right.
They say never talk about religion. Well, we talked about it today, and we're all good.
Thank
you so much for taking the time to chat with me. I've so enjoyed this. I can't wait to get my book. I can't wait to read the book to my kids, because I feel like those short stories might make a very fun read with the kids.
Yeah, I have to warn people, there's a couple of swear words in there.
Do you think that we don't swear in this house?
Well, I always like to tell people, it's real life. So there's a few things in there that people might, raise an eyebrow at, but it's realistic. So
cussing is fine by me. Today I don't know if you saw, there was a post, I don't even know by whom, on Facebook today, literally today. And the question was, what is it about your profession that people who are not in your profession might not know? And a few of them were like, we cuss. And there's somebody else we cuss too. I don't know what they do for work, but apparently everybody cusses in different professions.
Everybody's
well, you know what? That's not a surprise to anybody.
No. And it's really funny, when I moved here from Canada, I mean, Canadians, we are swearers. I mean, we swear. Oh my goodness. I'm telling you, when I moved down here, I was like, ooh. People are looking at me. I can't say that. It's oh my gosh.
I only know
hilarious.
A handful of Canadians, and they were always on their best behavior, because I don't. Yeah.
Yes. We know how to behave well, but when we're, we let loose. We swear all the time. Everywhere I worked, the workplace was full of swearing. Everything's swearing.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah. My son Noah, before he was 2, was caught on camera being something about the F-bomb. He was like, what the F? What the F? And I was like, wait, but I was taping you gardening. Why are you swearing right now? And so I shared it on social media. Everybody knows what kind of mom I am. It's only a matter of time before the little one starts swearing. She's already going, She's sassy. She's already going, She's 16 months. She goes, I'm not doing that.
Wow. That's awesome.
Only a matter of time before the F-bomb comes out of her mouth.
Yeah, well, And then you don't make a fuss, and that goes away.
No, and I'm going to teach them that there are words they can use at home, and there are words that they can use elsewhere. Just because that's real life, right? The way you speak to your husband is different than the way you might speak to a new client, and that's real life.
That is real life. Absolutely. Yep. So we're going to tailor yourself for the audience that you're in front of. Exactly. Yeah.
Well, thank you again. I've so enjoyed this. I can't wait to get your book. And I just want to thank you for taking your time to chat with me. I loved it.
It's been great. Awesome. After you read the book, if you can, just go leave a review. That'd be awesome.
I'm going to do you one better. I'm going to do a video review.
Ooh, that would be awesome. Yeah.
Yes. And I'll upload it to Amazon because I know that they have video, the ability to do
awesome. That'd be great.
Yes.
Perfect.
I will.
Plaster it all over social media.